All right, we're going to use image adjustments and filters to create completely different images. And so far, you have been combining things with edit and erasing different things. So image adjustment in Photoshop is under image. Here we have the different modes that Photoshop has: grayscale, CYMK, which is a printmaking color, 16 bits, etc. Here's all the different things that you can do with adjustments. So with brightness and contrast, this is really simple little saran wrap painting background. So in real time you can see how brightness changes it and contrast changes it. So a lot of things can happen if you do. And the last thing was auto. And you can always see if auto thinks you need to do something to it. All right, here's image adjust levels. Levels is what I usually do on the first thing with a photograph because it adjusts what you see with the lights. So right here, before it starts going up, is probably where the normal photo should have been, and right here on the bottom. So oftentimes I'll set my photos right there and right there. If I really want to change it, there is adding darks to my photos. If I think I've added a lot of darks and it's very dark, I'm usually wrong because there's what it looks like with a lot of darks. You can also change the midtone values here. And then here it is with a lot of lights. So you could have a very light, breathy piece with that. Here is curves. Curves I use when nothing else will work. So if the photograph is so bad or I want to do something really drastic, then you can add curves to really change it. Before you change anything, you should save your piece, and then anything that you like, then when you're done, then you can always save as, and this one was called 456. So I can put in curves, or I can put 456 curves. And right now I'm saving it at maximum so that I can use it for whatever I want. And then I can step backwards and try another one. Or you can step forward and use the one with curves. Here is exposure. Exposure really is helpful. I'm not sure what is going on with your phones. This was just a image on my phone, or if you used a scan image, you can do the same thing. What I want you to do is save and adjust the image that you played with. All right, the next one is Vibrance. And save this at least 6 or 7 different versions of it, because your assignment is going to be to cut it up and create a new image. So there's something with very low vibrance and saturation. Here's something, even though the vibrance is low, there's the saturation high, or you could put them both high. See, and now I have completely different colors than what I did. File, save as. Saturated. Right. Image adjust. Hue saturation. This one you may want to do multiple times. All right, so in real time now, you can see all the different colors that you can have with hue or saturation. Change the saturation levels. Make it very saturated or less. Make it darker or lighter. So very easily I could have a lot of different colors. So if I'm saving that one, I can call it blue and red. Or there's blue and red less saturated and lighter. Or I can go into purple and green. Okay, the next thing is color balance. And this is different than the hue because you're actually changing the way the colors are mixing. So there's with the midtones, I can change the color balance with the shadows. I can change the color balance. This is still the same piece with the highlights. Highlights to be brighter, more blue. All right, and save that as balance. Right, the next one is black and white. Or I can change before I make it black and white. I can change the intensity of my colors here. By playing with those arrows. So tinted black and white. There's an auto. It is with blue. All right, next is you can do a color lookup, a photo filter. I'm going to invert it right quick. Or posterize it. You get to choose how many levels to posterize it. I think I'll revert it to the beginning. And now I'll try invert. No, still too bright. Need to adjust levels. Let's lighten up some of this. Image adjust, invert. That brain, it just washes everything out. Just, I have to take the hue and saturation down a little bit. that's not quite so crazy. If it still is so bright that you can't stand it, you can fade it by going Edit, Fade, Invert. So a lot of these things you can fade how much you put on it also. And this button lets you try different types of fade. That one doesn't look much different than the original. All right, that one I can actually stand. So there's an invert with the hue faded. Save as. Invert. All right, since this is so changed, I can always go back and open the original one. Saving room. Recents. It's probably the first one. I'm not sure where we saved it. Documents. Desktop. I have to look. Cancel. File open. Desktop. It's one of these things. There they all are. So I think I'd like to open maybe this one. All right. Next is image adjust, posterize. There is a really small posterize. If you go up too high, it won't make any difference, that it won't change it any. So I usually would do it about 8 or 9. There it is, 100%. There it is, posterized. There it is, not posterized. So you can see it's just a little bit more dramatic. Okay, try it again. Just posterize. Now you can really see the change